Jack started, and realized just how exposed Chastity was. Even though the front of her diaper still lay in place, it was unsecured. "Oh, sorry," he said, and set about fixing that. He lifted the front of her diaper just a bit, not enough to show anything, but it still caused Chastity additional embarrassment, and pulled it up just a little bit before he tucked a wing down against her hip and reattached the tape, taking a moment to offer up a silent thanks that his haste hadn't actually ruined the fastener, even though it was the non-adhesive style seen on pretty much every baby diaper nowadays. When he had Chastity's diaper closed up, he finished the job by resnapping her Onacy and helping her up into a sitting position. Silence fell between them as they sat there in the toy room, each of them thinking about what they had been about to do, and each privately glad that they hadn't gone any farther. They only stole short glances at each other, mostly looking at anything that wasn't the other person in the room. Jack rubbed at his chin for a moment, and was the first to speak. Were we really going to do?" he trailed off. Chastity nodded. "Yeah, sure seems like it," she put in, since Jack hadn't been able to finish his thought. "Would have been pretty stupid, wouldn't it?" Jack mused, more stating than inquiring. Another nod from Chastity. "Yeah, probably, even though it would have been fun." Jack smiled just a bit. "Yeah, but how fun?" Chastity looked at him and smiled just a bit as well. "Guess we won't know, will we?" There was a touch of the demure to her words. "Probably for the better." A curious look. "How so?" Jack heaved out a breath. "Well, remember some of those couples back when we were freshmen and sophomores? How, after homecoming or prom or some party or another, they'd go somewhere and, do it, and then something would happen and they would break up just a little while later, usually in some big mess?" Chastity nodded. "Well, I think that if we did it, we wouldn't last very long, that maybe we'd break up pretty bad like they did, and I don't want that. Not with you." He concluded by looking hard at Chastity's face, as if to drill home his point by boring it into her eyes. In response, Chastity shifted onto all fours, crawled over to Jack, slid her legs past his sides and situated herself in his lap while her arms snaked around his neck, kissed him, and held herself close to him for those moments. "Thank God for Huggies, she whispered in his ear. Jack smiled at her and nodded. "Yeah, thank God for Huggies," he agreed. And then he started laughing. His laughter infected Chastity, and she ended up rolling off of him from laughing so hard. Pretty soon they were laughing so hard tears were rolling down their cheeks and they could hardly breathe. Do you realize how funny it is that we were stopped from having sex by diapers?" Chastity asked. "Is that not like the funniest thing you've ever heard of?" Jack nodded and swiped away a tear while trying to get some air into his lungs. "I can already feel the fear from the Trojan man," he said, and they both fell about laughing again. It was some time before they were all laughed out, and when they simply remained in whatever position they found themselves. In Jack's case it was sitting against the pile of stuffed animals and Chastity lying on the floor nearby. She shifted about to catch his eye, a smile on her face and warmth from her own gaze. "I'm really glad we didn't have sex, Jack," she told him. He nodded. "Yeah, so am I." Chastity couldn't resist the opportunity for a glib remark. "What, does that mean you don't want to have sex with me ever?" "I'm so offended." Jack rolled his eyes. "Well, maybe after we get out of diapers, you can model some of your panties for me. We'll see how things go then." Which, of course, earned him a good sharp smack to whatever convenient appendage Chastity could reach, in this case, Jack's calf, where she left a nice red handprint. "Oh, serves you right," she told him. "What, you started it?" he protested. She merely shrugged. "So?" Jack gave her a look. "That's not fair. Oh boo-hoo, don't make me get out the world's tiniest violin." Jack's response to that was to tickle her without mercy.